Welcome to the Monsters Among Us podcast. This is episode 28, Hodag.
Thanks for tuning in. Today we're looking at the Hodag, a really interesting creature from American folklore.
Specifically from Wisconsin, right?
Rhinelander.
That's the place. It's known as a fearsome critter. And the description alone is pretty striking. You've got bull horns.
Oh, bull horns, okay.
And this spiny, sort of ridged back. It immediately gives you this picture of something quite unusual, maybe a little scary.
Definitely paints a picture. And the origin story is, well, it's something else.
It really is. The legend says the Hodag was born from the ashes of oxen.
Oxen that had been mistreated.
Exactly. Like all that accumulated abuse and suffering somehow, manifested into this monster. It's quite a dark starting
It
point.
really grabs you, that idea. Makes you wonder what was going on at the time.
For sure. And the central figure in bringing this legend, or maybe creating it, was a guy named Eugene Shepard.
Right, the land surveyor. Timber cruiser. Yep, from Wisconsin. Known for being a bit of a character, a prankster even, and he's the one who claimed to have discovered the Hodag.
When was this? Like late 1800s?
1893, that was the year he claimed the first encounter happened. It sets up this whole narrative.
So, okay, 1893. Shepard says he finds this thing. What did he say it was like? What were those early stories? Was it meant to be terrifying?
Oh, absolutely. The descriptions he circulated, often through, local papers, were designed to shock.
So what did he claim? Beyond the horns and spikes.
Well, think about it. A frog-like head, but with this huge, almost elephantine grin. Big, sharp claws, that dinosaurish back we mentioned.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty monstrous.
And a tail with a spear on the end. It was basically designed to sound like the most formidable thing you could possibly run into out there in the woods.
Definitely sounds like nightmare fuel. And the first attempt to actually deal with it, that involved explosives, didn't it?
That's the story. He claimed that he and a group of locals went after it, but it was so fierce, so dangerous.
They couldn't handle it conventionally.
Apparently not. The story goes they had to resort to using dynamite just to kill it.
Dynamite. Wow. That really amps up the whole fearsome critter angle, doesn't it? Makes it sound almost unstoppable.
It absolutely does. It adds this layer of extreme threat. And, to make it seem real.
There was proof. Or supposed proof.
Shepard circulated a photograph, supposedly showed the charred remains of the Hodag after the explosion.
A photo, seriously,
Yeah.
of this mythical creature's remains.
Yep. And the story that went with it described it as, the most terrifying monster ever, thankfully now extinct.
Extinct, but why?
Well, this is where it gets a bit weird. The story claimed its main food source was white bulldogs.
White bulldogs, only white ones.
Apparently. And since white bulldogs had supposedly become rare in the area, the Hodag died out. Or this first one did, anyway.
That almost sounds like he's playing with people, even then. White bulldogs.
There's definitely a hint of absurdity mixed in with the scary parts, even early on. But it didn't end there, of course.
Right, because the dynamite wasn't the end of the Hodag story. He claimed to find another one.
He did, a few years later in 1896. And this time, the story was even more wild.
How so? What happened this time?
This time, he claimed he captured one. Alive?
Alive? After needing dynamite for the first one? How?
Well, according to Shepard, he got together a group of bear wrestlers.
Wait, bear wrestlers. Like actual people who wrestle bears.
That's what he claimed. A colorful detail, right?
And this crew supposedly cornered the Hodag in its cave.
Okay, bear wrestlers cornering a Hodag. Then what?
Then they used chloroform on the end of a long pole, apparently, to knock it out.
Chloroform on a stick to subdue a monster. With bear wrestlers, you really can picture the scene he was trying to paint.
It's incredibly vivid, isn't it? Pure sensationalism. And then the next step was showing it off.
He actually put this captured Hodag on display for the public.
Oh, absolutely. He debuted it at the very first Oneida County Fair.
Must have caused quite a stir. What was the reaction like? Did people buy it? Reports say thousands came to see it. Huge crowds, both at the fair and later. He had it set up in a shanty near his house.
Just the novelty must have been huge, seeing this monster they'd heard about.
Exactly. The scary stories, the bizarre capture tale, it all fueled this massive public curiosity and probably a good bit of fear.
And I heard he didn't just let people look at it, he made it interactive.
He did. Shepard was quite the showman. He'd rigged the thing up with hidden wires.
Wires. So he could make it move.
Precisely. He'd apparently wait for the right moment, maybe when a crowd was gathered close, and then manipulate the wire.
So the Hodag would suddenly twitch or move its head.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, it apparently caused people to jump back, scream, scatter in fright. It definitely added to the scare factor.
Okay, so this is becoming a huge local phenomenon. People are genuinely scared or at least thrilled by the possibility, but it couldn't last, right?
No, eventually the truth had to surface. The story got bigger and bigger, attracting attention from further afield.
And that's what led to the reveal. Outside attention.
Kind of. The real turning point came when scientists from the Smithsonian Institution—
Oh, the Smithsonian, like proper scientists.
Exactly. They announced they were planning a trip to Rhinelander. They wanted to officially examine this incredible biological discovery.
Uh-oh. I can see where this is going.
Yeah.
The prospect of real scientific scrutiny.
Was probably too much for Shepard. Faced with actual experts coming to investigate, he finally confessed.
Admitted the whole thing was a fake.
Yeah.
The dynamite, the bear wrestlers, the moving creature.
All of it. He admitted the Hodag was a fabrication, a hoax he'd constructed, likely out of wood and ox hides and other bits and pieces.
Wow. It's amazing how far he took it. But you know, what's really fascinating is what happened after he confessed.
Right. You'd think the story would just, fizzle out, become an embarrassing footnote.
But it didn't. The Hodag didn't disappear at all.
Not even close. It's actually become incredibly important to Rhinelander's identity. It's the official symbol of the city now.
The official symbol. A confessed hoax.
Yep. And the mascot for Rhinelander High School? The Hodags. Imagine their sports teams.
The Rhinelander Hodags. That's fantastic.
And its name is everywhere. Local businesses, hotels. There's even a huge country music festival every year called the Hodag Country Festival.
So they completely embraced it. The city actually calls itself the home of the Hodag, don't they?
They do. It's gone from this maybe scary, maybe silly prank to a real point of local pride and a tourist draw, I imagine.
It really shows how a good story, even a fake one, can take on a life of its own, doesn't it? Especially one that's kind of unique and quirky.
Definitely. And they haven't just kept the name alive. There are physical representations, too.
Right. The sculptures?
There's a big one, a fiberglass Hodag made by a local artist right outside the Chamber of Commerce. It's pretty impressive, larger than life.
A real landmark, then.
For sure. And then if you go to the local ice arena, the Rhinelander Ice Arena—
There are more Hodags there.
Two, actually. One's a full-bodied statue just inside the entrance. But the other one—
What about the other one?
It's this huge, oversized Hodag head mounted up in a corner. And get this, it apparently breathes smoke, and its eyes glow red.
No way.
Jerry?
So they're still playing up the slightly monstrous, maybe a little bit scary aspect of it.
Seems like it, keeping that original thrill alive, maybe. It's just amazing how this creature, born from, tall tales and maybe some anxiety about the wilderness.
And specifically crafted to be fearsome at first.
Yeah. Has transformed into this beloved community symbol. It's gone from something maybe lurking in the dark woods to something celebrated right out in the open.
It really makes you think about folklore, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How these stories evolve and why certain ones stick around. Even the scary ones, or the ones we know, aren't technically real.
Absolutely. What is it about these creatures of imagination that captures us so enduringly? That's a really interesting thought.
That is it for this episode. Until next time, keep to the shadows. Some legends are best left undiscovered.